Camo tickets. There's been a lot of criticism on how this new resource will negatively impact the Boom Pass. And in today's video, I want to talk about it because I actually do agree with a lot of the criticism against the camo tickets. So, without further ado, let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about camo tickets and how it looks like they will be negatively impacting the Boom Pass, at least with how they're being introduced and how you will be able to acquire them, the only way to acquire them. So the camo tickets will be introduced in the next Boom Pass, with it being one of the first premium items that you will be able to get on the premium reward track. And one of the first criticisms that I would like to bring up with the camo tickets here is with regards to players that already have all these skins and how most players know the Boom Pass as two skins. So it's almost like a ripoff now that, you know, you're paying a fair amount for this Boom Pass as well. And for players that have been disciplined and have collected their skins, that have completed their missions, that have earned their skins, you know, by buying them through completing the missions, they're getting a 50% reduction in skins if moving forward the only way to acquire the camo tickets is on the Boom Pass on the premium reward track, meaning you have to pay for the Boom Pass to get camo tickets. So I mean, another criticism is how that, you know, free to play players have no access to camo tickets at the moment here. So just going back to players who have actually collected all their skins, how is this fair to them? You know, they're losing out on a skin. You know, they're gaining a resource that they have no use for due to the fact that the camo tickets only purpose is to buy skins. And for the players that do buy the Boom Pass and that have collected all the skins, well, now they're getting ripped off on the Boom Pass because instead of two skins, they're getting one skin. They're getting a currency that they don't need because they've already collected their skins, which means there's no need for camo tickets for players that have collected all the skins. So I agree with the criticism that, you know, if this is how camo tickets will, if this is how camo tickets, the only way players will be able to acquire camo tickets, then yes, you know, the Boom Pass does feel like a ripoff then, you know, especially if we're only getting one skin. I'm hoping that this is a trial run, and right now the only way that we will be able to acquire the camo tickets after Boom Pass, hopefully, we'll be able to have other ways to get them, such as Shop of Evil, the Trader, maybe even Chess, you know, also maybe even giving a chance for the free-to-play players to acquire them. So if the only way to get the Boom Pass right now is going to be, sorry, Boom Pass, so if the only way to get the camo tickets is going to be through the Boom Pass, and the players that have already collected all these skins have no use for the camo tickets, well then I think Boom Beach might have to reduce the price of the Boom Pass. I mean, obviously they're not going to do that, but unless they introduce another way for players to acquire the camo tickets, it's definitely not worth it now for the players, you know, that have collected all the skins. You know, some of them still probably most likely will buy the Boom Pass because, you know, they're still going to want to add at least that one skin. But I'm really hoping that from Boom Beach's side that this is only a trial run with the camo tickets, and that moving forward after the Boom Pass, you know, there will be other ways to acquire the camo tickets. I mean, one of the ways that absolutely makes the most sense to me to get the camo tickets would be the Shop of Evil. And I'm really hoping that, you know, Boom Beach will be introducing new resources in the Shop of Evil for players to purchase, because, you know, why introduce such honestly, a great mechanic, a new feature, the Shop of Evil, and then introduce, you know, a new premium currency, and we're going to get into this in just a moment as well, and only have it available for the premium players to buy on the Boom Pass. I mean, if you think about it, you know, you're kind of scratching your head at that. So that's why, I definitely have a lot more faith in Supercell. I think they're a lot smarter than this, which is why I honestly believe this is probably just a trial run with, just getting the camo tickets out there. Hopefully, months down the road, we will be seeing them in the shop of Evil because, especially now with the Evil coins and, players still adjusting and getting used to the new way to buy resources for completing the cycle of Evil. And yes, you still get resources, you just buy them in the cycle of Evil. You just buy them in the Evil shop. A lot of people are still complaining that they're not getting resources from the cycle of Evil. That you're getting the Evil coins to buy the resources. You just buy the resources you want. But with that being said, the camo ticket also is a premium currency. And what I mean by a premium currency is free-to-play players are getting left in the dust here. So yes, skins are cosmetic. They have absolutely zero effect on your gameplay. A skin is not going to make your character stronger, faster, badder, whatever. They just look cool. Players like, skins, okay? I like skins, you like skins, we all like skins. But I really feel like there should be a way for the free-to-play F2P players. It's funny saying F2P players when it is free-to-play player. Anyway, so F2P, there needs to be a way for them to acquire the camo tickets, even if the camo tickets are at a reduction, meaning that instead of 350, maybe, on the boom pass for completing missions instead of intel, maybe they can get camo tickets. Maybe they get, 2, 4, a lower amount that they're able to stack. And then also it gives them a chance to be able to purchase a cosmetic, a skin that they were never able to do before because, again, a lot of players are free to play and, they're not going to buy the boom pass. They don't buy instant training. They're not going to buy the extra builder. But it would be nice if Supercell would give them that incentive so they would... Oh, I think somebody's attacking live right now. It would be nice if Supercell would be able to give them that incentive for the free-to-play players to actually be able to use a premium currency, because as of right now, if this is how it stands, then again, the camo tickets are only for players that pay to play, that pay for the boom pass, not pay to play. You do get a lot of resources, you get warship, the saving on diamonds, switching in warships is also really, really nice here. I want to give a shout out to Timson for attacking live in Sugar Ship here. But going back to it being a premium currency, and again, the free-to-play players get left in the dust here. So I really hope that there's a way for the free-to-play players to acquire and accumulate these camo tickets, because right now, it doesn't make that much sense, especially for players that do buy the boom pass and that have acquired all the skins, which means they have absolutely no use for a new premium resource. It's just going to sit there and collect dust, and then you've got the free-to-play players who don't buy the boom pass, and you also give them the ability to collect them, but yet they can't collect them because they don't buy the boom pass. It's just, again, you're just kind of scratching your head at it. So I really like this conversation because, you have to be open about it and you have to talk about it. I've been playing this game for over 10 years. I love this freaking game. You have to be transparent about it, when things are good and when things are bad. And right now, the camo tickets just don't make that much sense to me. So I think a lot of players, the Boom community, the Skull Army, not even necessarily my community, the Boom community itself, I definitely feels the same way. This is a great topic of discussion. Definitely let me know in the comments what your thoughts are with regards to the camo tickets and just how the current mechanic of them are set up. If you have made it this far into the video, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me, does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. I will catch you all on the next one. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. Peace.